Good evening. Welcome to ABC4 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Sarah Murphy.
And I'm Brian McElhatton. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. A former Salt Lake City School District teacher is speaking out tonight about not being asked back for the school year. Now, she claims that being the only black teacher at the school and speaking up on issues facing black students could be part of the reason she's no longer there. ABC4's Jordan Tracy spoke with one of her former students about the impact she had at the school and the issues she faced as a black student at Highland High. Jordan.
Well, good evening, Brian and Sarah. I'm told some students of color at Highland High felt voiceless before Tiffany Rasmussen started teaching there. In her 1 year, they say she brought a representation and a confidence to speak out that they never had before.
The first black teacher I had ever.
That is Medina Yassine, one of Miss Rasmussen's former students. Having her as a teacher was the only time she ever had a teacher that looked like her.
I was honestly shocked because it was supposed to be the most diverse school district, that I was the only black teacher in the school and the only black history teacher in the district.
Rasmussen says she immediately had students approach her with issues in the school. It's why she started the STEP team that ABC4 just did a story on back in February. Here's what a student told us back then about her impact.
Now I feel way more included. Her being a teacher of color in the school district, and because of her, it's just been so different because she gave us a lot of opportunities and she just wants the best for us. I couldn't thank her enough, but she made my year so nice.
Yassine says it was Miss Rasmussen that gave them a voice.
We never felt like we were being understood at that school, so every single time there was a problem going on in school or outside of school, we can go to her and she will try to help us out with that.
She described racially charged incidents with other students at Highland High that she claims went unaddressed.
A lot of people that are non-black be saying the N-word, and we tried speaking about that multiple times, but it's always gone unheard. And they will call the black people monkeys and just call them out their names, and nothing still haven't been done.
With the closing of 4 elementary schools in the district, Rasmussen says teachers with seniority were prioritized to stay. While she had taught for several years in the Jordan School District, it was her first here in Salt Lake City. At the end of the school year, Rasmussen wasn't offered to stay. She was asked to reapply for her job and ultimately told there was no longer a job for her. She says she was shocked, claiming she never had a bad review with administration and never told of any problems until she wasn't asked back.
I never had the opportunity to work on any of the things that you mentioned. And are you holding this across the board, or is it just directed towards me? And that is an issue and thing that we're going to look into.
She was heartbroken that the representation she craved as a student, she now couldn't provide as a teacher.
Doesn't matter. That's how I feel at the end of the day. It's like, oh, well, when representation does really matter. These students want to feel like they can connect. I feel like even my first year, I brought a lot to the table, but also give me some time, work with me, not just, bye, see you later.
Yassine fears now there is no voice for black students at Highland High.
Now that she's not there anymore, I don't want to imagine what they're going to go through at that school.
Rasmussen believes it was being that vocal advocate for students of color that played a role in her no longer working in the district.
Just to be pushed away, I could feel and understand what the students were saying when they said they didn't feel like they were welcomed. They were showing me that I wasn't welcomed.
Yassine told me that she finally felt confident to speak up in class. Normally, she would never speak in class until Miss Rasmussen was there. Now, I want to note that today was the 3rd day that ABC4 reached out to the district to offer to hear their side of the story as what we learned continued to evolve. Now, the only response I received was one that directed me to someone else, and then that person never responded. So we're hoping to get that other side, and we'll continue to push on that other side because that's very important in something like this.
So we're waiting on that. Jordan, can you give us an update on Miss Rasmussen? What is she doing now?
So she's teaching in the Juan Diego High School, the Catholic high school there, where she says she's had a great experience in the first couple of weeks there. But, you know, she's at a private school now, but she says she's always been a supporter of public schools, and she's disappointed that this situation has pushed her from being able to support public schools further in a role as a teacher.
Okay, so again, a developing story. We're hoping to get a few more responses as the week goes on. We'll make sure to keep you updated, Jordan. Thank you very much.